This is my mate Naughty Bird. I met him playing CS2 and, well, we got talking about Warhammer 40k and I found out he's a tower player, which was a little depressing, I'm not going to lie. However, I did offer to paint some of his Crisis battlesuits for him. First off, you start with a base coat of Chaos Black. I like to use the spray can because it's a lot faster, it's a lot more efficient, it doesn't have any splotches, and it's very even. Unlike most Slapchop methods, I actually like putting an undercoat that fits the color when normally people do black and white. So what I do is I go in with Gal Vorbak Red and just do a complete base coat. I use the airbrush, but you can use a paintbrush. After this, I go in with Ulpen Grey instead of White Scar. I use an airbrush again, but if you are going to do it, I would do a dry brush or stripling. Step 4 is contrast Flesh Terrors Red over the entire model. Every single nook and cranny. I use the airbrush because it makes it a lot more even, a lot more quicker, a lot more easier, but using a brush is just fine. But if you use a brush, I do recommend that you mix a bit of water in there to thin it down. Once that is all dry and looking sexy, you go in with a base coat of Abaddon Black and really focus on the hinges and the weapons. You can add more hinges, but I try and add the hinges that are more noticeable, so the arms, the legs, the backpack I normally leave. You can do it if you want to, but it takes more time. Step 6, I use Dawnstone on where you would put all the white. This is a great base coat to allow white to come in and still make it look white without having all that texture. You really want to be careful with this, where you do want to do 2 layers and make sure it's not too thick. Step 7, I highlight the corners with Corn Red. The reason I highlight the corners is to make the red pop while also making things look dark. And normally you layer over the entire surface. However, I like highlighting the corners and the flat surfaces to really show you where to edge highlight for the next step. Step 8 is edge highlighting with Evil Sun Scarlet. I like to, again, edge highlight the corners, mainly the areas where people actually look at. Like, I don't highlight from behind, just highlight the chest, the upper legs, a little bit of the lower legs, and the arms that are more forward. Step 9 is a highlight on the black with Dark Reaper. I do this as like an edge, but it's more of like a layer over the edge, so it kind of goes over rather than just the edge highlighting. It gives it a nice glow. Step 10 is highlighting with Ulpen Grey over all the areas that would be white. What you want to do is find where the light would hit the most and start layering in from that side, and leave part of the middle still with Dawnstone, while one edge has a little bit of Ulpen Grey and the other edge has, say, 60% Ulpen Grey, and shortly after, corner highlight again with White Scar. For the basing, I just use ground texture snow from Vallejo. It's very easy. It's actually pretty cheap considering you can get a massive tub for $30 rather than like a tiny tub for what, $14 from Games Workshop, which maybe bases like 10 models. Well, this snow is amazing. I recommend it. And with that, you are done. Quick, easy model. Looks good. Battle ready. Maybe even parade ready, but I wouldn't go that far. Ready for your next game.